On today's episode, NASCAR has a fuel mileage finish where the winner holds off after saving a ridiculous amount of fuel. That's so crazy because it's only the fourth time that's happened this summer, Alex. Wow.
Wow.
I can't wait to talk about William Byron winning Iowa today. Not only that, the F1 Championship Titans with Lando Norris kind of scoring back against Oscar Piastri, and Fox Sports has bought into IndyCar, and I know Alex has a lot of good things to say about that.
Very kind things. Yeah.
Very kind things. You are so excited about that. I mean, you just couldn't wait to record today. Like, you were just ready.
I totally didn't blank it out of my memory and forget that was even a topic to talk about.
I actually had to remind him to, like, hey, we're talking about this, right? Like, we can't just skip over it. Welcome back to the Gay Racing Podcast. If it's your first time here, I'm sorry. I'm Zack. I'm sorry you're here. No.
Hello.
I'm Zack. That's Alex. Yeah, we are talking about NASCAR at Iowa. It was really IMSA was at Road America, but we're not talking about that today. Because
I had it on for a minute, IMSA.
Yeah, I meant to pay more attention, but I was just busy this weekend.
Well, when I turned it on, it was under yellow, which I feel like it's always under yellow. So
damn. But they're at Road America, which is, really good track.
Yeah.
So NASCAR, their second trip to Iowa, and I don't know. I feel like the theme of this week and this weekend, like, practice was really rough for a lot of drivers. Well, to be fair, the race was also really rough for a lot of drivers. It's just, you wouldn't think it, but it's just the fact that we haven't raced to Iowa so much is still, like, so much of a challenge. And the race was during the day this year instead of night. And I mean, I don't know, the temperatures weren't even that hot, but it seemed like a lot of drivers struggled with grip, like corner entry on restarts, just washing up the track. We'll talk about all those damn cautions. But first, let's talk about William Byron. Now, I'm not the number one William Byron fan or the number one fan of, like, talking about him. Like I don't know. Was this kind of just all that for a William Byron win? We'll get to that, Alex. I don't like the narrative that's been going around that he's had a rough season because, like, he's the points leader.
He's literally the points leader.
He's and I mean literally the points leader. Like, not like he's almost the point. No, he's, like, actually the points leader. He's, like, been competing for wins, like, pretty consistently.
He hasn't won since the Daytona 500, but he has been in contention. He could have won Michigan. He ran out of fuel. He was up toward the front in several other races throughout the season. And this is just the first time since Daytona that he's managed to get back to victory lane. And yeah, the Daytona 500 was kind of a fluky win. We talked about that at the time, but he's still been easily one of the top 5 drivers all season, right?
He's been kind of like Chase Elliott in a way, just consistent.
Like, he's not dominating races, but he's consistently up there and in the conversation. Well, and you have to consider at times, like, hey, is he going to win this race? Is this the week he gets the second win of the year? And it finally happened.
Well, let me correct you, though, because he has dominated races. Remember, like, Darlington and Michigan? Like, he did. He has dominated races. It's not something that he's doing every week, but no one's doing it every week. They just couldn't close it out. And he's, if any driver this season has had a heartbreaking loss, I feel like, Byron just giving away Darlington and, or really the 2014, just giving away Darlington and, the Coke 600. Like, he dominated the Coke 600. So that's kind of, like, sure, it's not been a perfect season, but, like, let's not pretend like he's had an awful season. Like, he's in, or even this summer, because normally he kind of has a summer slump, but I just haven't really been seeing that either, right? Like, he's had speed, even if, like, the results didn't, like, show it because of, like, chaos. He's had the speed, so I don't know. I don't know why some people are saying, like, wow, this is a really big, I mean, it still is a pretty big win. Winning before the playoffs is always great momentum.
Well, and it gets him those 5 playoff points, and there's a lot of races that he's lost this year, and those 5 points could make or break going on to a next round later on. But this win for him, the end of the race here at Iowa, he saved a whole bunch of fuel because of those cautions. He went 144 laps without getting more gas. And although we're saying, like, hey, he's had a pretty good season, this still feels like a weird win because the fuel saving in this car just low-key feels redundant, don't you think?
Well, at this point, Yes, and it's funny because one of my coworkers today was actually talking to me about, oh God, I hate when my coworkers bring up NASCAR. So I'm like, oh God, I'm not supposed to talk about this till tonight. I'm trying to get away from NASCAR now. I'm trying to recover from what I watched yesterday. No, like fuel mileage races. I guess we're like talking about that. Like fuel mileage races to me are supposed to have this like tension, and there's just not really. I don't really feel that tension. Like I with 20 laps to go yesterday, I didn't really have that feeling of, man, I don't know if Byron's going to make it. I still had it a little bit, but I think a big part of that as well is we've had like Pocono, Indy. I mean, it feels like Michigan, like we've had so many fuel mileage races basically all summer. Like legitimately, it feels like every single oval race has been a fuel mileage race. And it's getting to the point where I'm starting to notice the tension is gone because I can't remember. And I know Byron ran out of fuel in Michigan, but I feel like it's like nothing ever really like changes, if that makes sense. And maybe that's just a coincidence. Like Bubba didn't run out of fuel at Indy, Byron didn't run out yesterday at Iowa. But then we also see stuff like Chase Briscoe when he was like backing up the field at Pocono, and then Byron was kind of backing up the field yesterday. And like,
Byron was pulling away from Chase Briscoe, and Byron was being told repeatedly, like, "Hey, back up a bit, like you can go slower." And he was pulling away from Briscoe and Keselowski, who should have had plenty more fuel. And even Ryan Blaney, who was gaining on them, had the most fuel of anybody. He couldn't get around Keselowski when he got up there either.
I think that could have been like even just like, I don't even want to say a tire thing, but like those last 5 laps where Byron like really backed it down, it looked like F1 at Abu Dhabi that one year with like Nico Rosberg. Like they were all just like piled behind him. They could not really like make like Ryan Blaney getting to Brad and not even like, at least he got side by side. I guess that's not too bad, but it was just such a, I don't know. I don't want to sit here and be like, man, I'm disappointed because nothing happened, because like races are going to end like that. But I feel like every single fuel mileage race is ending the exact same, and I don't think that's a coincidence. And it's, I mean, it's not. It's this car.
Because the car that is saving fuel shouldn't have an advantage because they're in front. They should still have a disadvantage with the older tires, and they actually have to save fuel, so they're going slower. We're just not seeing that with this car.
They have so much control. Like they can just back the pace down, and second place can't really fight that. That's not, there's no tension for me with this fuel mileage racing.
And I think that's why we're seeing more of this fuel mileage racing, because the teams are like, oh, we can just manipulate these races up front. So, and they should do that because they have to try winning the race. I mean, but it's not good that the car is like that at all. NASCAR needs to figure that out ASAP.
They wouldn't be doing this. Like they would, like the 24 team, they would never would have like tried this strategy if passing was easier. I mean, we've seen how this next gen car has, not even the car, just like how the teams have developed as this car came out in 2022. And I like, not to be video gamey, but like it's the meta right now is you make your last pit stop as early as possible and jump everybody on track position. Yep. And if you get cautions, it will work out.
Like I bet you Richmond, unless we have a bunch of cautions later, that's going to be a fuel mileage race, because Richmond's a historically, specifically with this car, strategy track. It's similar to Iowa. It's going to be a fuel mileage finish. And I'm sure people are going to see what happened at Iowa, and they're going to, take advantage of that again.
Another thing as well, like Michigan, Pocono, Indy, they are all like really big ovals, and they lend themselves to be fuel mileage races. Iowa yesterday, I think, was slightly a victim of just like the way the cautions fell.
That's true.
It's just my whole point in all this, and why I'm disappointed, is I feel like I've watched the same race happen 4 times.
Yeah.
Like Michigan and Pocono and Indy and now Iowa, they all felt the exact same.
Fuel mileage is a good thing and can be exciting.
I love it.
But again, the problem is that the leader has too much ability to manipulate right now.
And we realize that now. Because even with the problem with the next gen car had going into the summer, I assumed if you're having to save like Chase Briscoe, having to save like laps of fuel at Pocono, that even if you have clean air, you're not going to be able to hold off Denny Hamlin. Apparently you can. And that doesn't feel right. And it's just kind of like, if we have another fuel mileage race next week at Richmond, or not next
2
week,
weeks.
but at Richmond, I'm not going to feel as much tension. Yeah. Because that's, if there's no tension of like someone maybe making a pass and challenging the guy saving fuel, it doesn't really feel that ruins the whole point. Because the fuel mileage racing, while it is like kind of boring in the moment, it's also like really intense because anything could happen. It's like, it's a surprise, and you're waiting for something to happen or to not happen. But yeah, I feel like I've watched the same race 4 times this summer, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I'll end on that with this fuel saving topic.
And talk about the same race, we had a whole bunch of cautions and just lack of respect in the field. I feel like I'm repeating myself. We probably had this exact conversation.
And I hate, honestly, I hate saying like lack of respect among drivers, because like, I don't know. I mean, I've been there like on iRacing with like double file restarts, and of course we're a bunch of like dumbasses on there on our little computers. And
we've talked about this before, that these double file restarts do cause more chaos. And you and I have talked about maybe they should go single file after 2-3 attempts. And it's just like, okay, they're going to keep wrecking. We're going to go single file.
And I know that's such an unpopular opinion we have.
And I'm all for it. Local tracks that I grew up going to would do that. I think that's a great idea. It just gets them straightened out. There's less chance of wrecking, but NASCAR doesn't want that. They want wrecks. Even NBC, by the way, was like saying like, oh, the fans are rooting for all these crashes. They said something like that. And I was just like, I'm not. I don't like this at all.
Like, it was frustrating to watch.
Stage 1 and 2 were like, okay. Like, you could tell like the aero issues were there. It was not...
It's typical.
It was like typical short track. It was like, okay, like whatever. Like, I enjoyed it enough. Start of stage 3, you get all these cautions. And it was just like, oh my God, just drive.
I'm serious though. Drive the car. Why is it so like? But again, as I said earlier, like grip was a problem. Like
so
rear grip was a problem.
So many cars were spinning off of 4. So many cars are spinning off 2. I think Shane Van Gisbergen spun like 3 times.
Couldn't hold our lane. Chase Elliott is like trying to murder Kyle Larson. Not really. I'm being dramatic, but like it. I didn't want people to think I'm a Chase hater, because I would never hate on Chase Elliott. I love him. But also you're putting these drivers in a box, and this is kind of like what I would say if we were having, like when we kind of had a crash fest at Indy, like you're asking these guys to go double file, and you're putting them in a position where, oh, if you win this race, by the way, somehow you get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like you're giving like oh, by the way, the only way to pass is on these restarts because of our stupid car. I get why they're wrecking on the restarts. They have to take action on the restarts. That's just how it is. And it's how it's going to be. And, would single file restarts fix it? Like, kind of, sure. But then it's even like, it's almost worse, because then they're passing less. Like, it would just be harder to like get a move set up. Maybe. True. I don't know. IndyCar makes it work, but I don't know. I
also think, though, to add on to this, if you get involved in like 2 or 3 incidents like in a row, you need to just be parked. Like the same guy.
What do you got against Carson Hocevar?
I think everyone has something to say about Carson Hocevar, but
that guy on pit road had something to say about him. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Oh my God!
Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, please, because I'm pissed at that guy. Not the who was it? Stephen Stump. I'm not pissed at him. He was doing his job.
The 38 crew member who walked up to Carson.
There's some 38 crew member who walked up to Carson and told Steven to like, hey, turn that off, to literally drop the R slur on Carson, according to Stephen Stump. That's great. Listen, I know he's dumb, but we don't need to be throwing off slurs. And also what pissed me off about it, not the most, but like what pissed me off about it is like, bro's out here just trying to do his job. Like literally in an interview, you interrupted his interview, by the way. Like, so, and I loved Jeff Gluck. Jeff Gluck responded like, he has no right to do that. You're there doing your job. Like,
yeah.
So that
do you really remember when, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott had their disagreement at Bristol, and Jordan Bianchi was like hiding his phone recording it?
What do you behind, like in a bush? You would do this.
And Kevin Harvick, or I think it was Kevin Harvick, kept turning around saying, "Stop recording." but Jordan like put his phone away and then pull it back out. So eventually they went into the hauler.
That sneaky little Jordan Bianchi is so sneaky.
But that's a journalism kind of thing, and you're doing your job. They don't have the right to just say you can't do that. Like they were in an open press environment.
Yeah,
and so Harvick and Chase went into the hauler where media isn't allowed to have their private conversation that they wanted. It's just basic journalism stuff. And this crew member, I don't know if they'll actually find him for this, considering one, there's time we're living in, and two, they don't have like the video evidence, right? So
I bet next time like Steven doesn't turn his camera off, which he should. And I feel bad for him because like he's just trying to do his job.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just, I don't know. I put yourself in that shoes. I can imagine like how frustrating that is.
Yeah.
But I bet next time he doesn't turn that camera off. I would have just said no. What are you gonna do about it? I got you on camera. Turn the camera over to him. Hold on, Carson. Let me interview this dumbass over here who thinks who thinks he's my boss. God. But that really pissed me off last night.
With Carson Hocevar, he did deserve like someone approaching him and being like, "Hey,
okay, no, this pisses me off too. Beat his ass already,
right?"
As the great Carson Ellis once said, "I'm pro ass kicking. Kick his ass already."
Carson Hocevar posted on Instagram that he doesn't care. He basically used a song that says, "I don't give a F." And it was just like a picture of like taking a ticket.
Oh, a ticket machine? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like get in line, basically.
Yeah, get in line. Just like,
he needs to be humbled. Why has no one beat his ass yet? Why?
I'll do it.
There's no drivers in the field, really, that will do that. Kevin Harvick retired. Tony Stewart retired. All those kind of guys. The only one that's really left is like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. You know, like Brad and Joey were always the ones getting approached. I don't think they've ever really approached anyone else. Joey Logano has, but I feel like sometimes he's in the wrong when he does.
And NASCAR's shown that like you'll get fined for certain altercations. That damn dude with his tan shirt and big muscles will get involved. Like,
yeah,
it's so I get it, but I'm just tired of all the talk.
Yeah.
Either wreck him on the, and I don't, please don't do this. Either wreck him on the track or shut his ass up and beat his ass. Like, I just, what are we doing? Stop wasting my time. It's the Ross Chastain thing all over again.
Well, but Carson's like actually not apologetic, unlike Ross Chastain. And
this dumbass.
In a way, it's like the same thing, but in the opposite direction. While Ross is just like overly apologetic, but still races like that, Carson is not apologetic and just continues to do it.
So he's really not a dumbass because he knows he can get away with it.
Yeah.
No one's going to do anything to him. He doesn't have to care. Yeah.
And by the way, Carson Hocevar is just being immature, in my opinion, with this whole thing, because I think he thinks that he's like an anti-hero.
He thinks he's Dale Earnhardt.
Personality.
He thinks he's Dale Earnhardt.
Some people have said that, and I think that's crazy. I think he's more like a Kevin Harvick or Tony Stewart.
Logano, maybe
Joey Logano. But those guys had wins. They were winning when they were pissing people off, and he has not done that yet. He's only in year 2. He's only in year 2 of Cup. I don't expect him to have wins, but he's acting like he's doing much more than he is. And he has shown good performances, and he has nearly pulled off a win, but he's not being like a Harvick, Stewart, or a Logano when they were pissing everybody off. He's 24th or something in points, Carson Hocevar is.
And that's the gag.
He is not the guy that he thinks he is. It's just immature.
Damn. He is kind of immature. Yeah. But my point is he can get away with it because no one's giving him any consequences. You know NASCAR is not going to give him a consequence.
Well, and Carson said himself that he doesn't care to make friends. He doesn't care to like apologize. And by all means, if you want to do that, but that should have consequences, and the drivers and teams aren't willing to provide those consequences. And that's why he's still being the way he is. And I think Ross Chastain is different. He did have a threat, I think, from Chevrolet, it sounds like, from like Rick Hendrick, because he's a Chevy guy. So that's why he's toned down a bit. Yeah. But Carson's just kind of I wouldn't say he's unhinged, but it's just like he's not getting any consequences.
And Ross has gotten his racecraft to a point where it's like, you know, he's still very like annoying sometimes, but it's it's kind of like Joey Logano now, where Joey Logano's not really doing stupid things, but like if you give him the lead, it's keys. He's winning that race. Like, and we kind of saw that at the 600 with Ross.
Yeah.
Carson is not at that level, not anywhere near that level. As you said, he does not have a win yet. Kind of needs one if you want to, act all big in your little playoffs. And that could also be another reason. I mean, he hasn't been running up front this month. Right, this past month, he just hasn't really been running up front, so that could be another part of it. I mean, the top drivers, at least like the Hamlins, they don't really feel as threatened, but we'll have to see how this develops because it feels like it's an every week thing with Hocevar at this point.
Yeah.
So entertaining. I like talking about it. It's kind of this year's kind of like the year of Hocevar in a way, not in a good way, I guess.
And by the way, we need drivers like Hocevar. We need villains like that, but they should still have drivers be responding to how they drive.
Oh, Alex, we have plenty of dumbasses in the sport. Trust me, we're good. Most of them.
But I mean, I'm saying like a villain. We do need a villain personality.
Like they're still talented.
But at the same time, there's just no...
Chris Wright's not talented enough. And, Austin Hill. We got Austin Hill.
Well, yeah, Austin Hill was suspended. I mean...
He's got a complicated backstory. He was like, oh, I'll be the hero. I'll lead you guys to greatness. Yeah.
Do you want to pull up the playoff grid?
That's why I froze, because I'm like, I didn't pull up the playoff grid. So... if I'm on the cut line, I might have been sad about Bubba Wallace winning last week, but this week, William Byron winning, that's pretty good, right? And we were talking about of these last 4 races, what are the chances of getting new winners? I will say we saw Brad Keselowski yesterday, who looked extra speedy, and I was starting to kind of get Richmond vibes from last year where Austin Dillon just showed up. Can this be full screen? Hold up. I don't want you all to see my little profile pic.
But the thing is with Brad Keselowski, last week you had said we could see a surprise winner like an Austin Dillon at Richmond last year. And Brad Keselowski looked like he had the best car. And there was a point, most of the race, it looked like he was going to be the guy to get the win. Didn't end up panning out that way, but... Keselowski is up in 21st in points. He's going to need a win to make it. Yeah. And he still has a shot if he has the speed at Richmond that he did at Iowa or obviously Daytona.
Yeah, and that's kind of the interesting thing about all this, especially with it being RFK, because all 3 of those cars kind of have this this short track speed, I guess you could say. Buescher and Priest being right on the cut line, that just makes it really interesting with them being teammates. And then of course Brad could knock them both out with a win. And unfortunately for this RFK team, unless they can all win the next 3 races, which, hey, technically not impossible. I could see it. Could you imagine that?
Buescher's good at all the remaining tracks before the playoffs.
Buescher has won all these the next 3 tracks. He's won them. He has wins at them. So Buescher could win anywhere. Priest honestly it feels like he's low-key been knocking on the door if they get the strategy right. And Brad,
wouldn't it be kind of cool for Ryan Priest to win Daytona, considering that he's had awful crashes there several times?
I hope he does it with no wheels on the ground. That'd be great. Not again.
Not again.
That would be tough if he won Daytona. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I mean, if RFK is going to get all 3 in, they run out of time, only 3 spots remain. I don't think they're going to get all 3 in.
Races. That'd be tough if they do that, wouldn't it?
That'd be crazy. God. Yeah.
Well, really? Yeah, no, they got to win all 3. Yeah, because points.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out, because I would love to see. What would kind of suck is if none of them make it, because RFK has been again, outside of the Hendrick, Gibbs, and that Toyota, JGR and 2311, I feel like the best organization easily is RFK, but they have no cars locked into the playoffs. That would be really sad if they don't make it, I feel like.
Yeah. And Chris Buescher is actually doing the truck race this weekend with a ThorSport. So more track time. He's defending winner of Watkins Glen, so that could be something that helps him with that race.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at the playoff grid, nothing really changed in between this and last week. Reddick's plus 122, Bowman plus 83 or 63, and Buescher is plus 23, and then Priest minus 23. I'd say anyone else has to win, but it's Busch, Gibbs, Allmendinger in the top 20.
And what I'm curious to see at Watkins Glen is surely they are playing. Like, I think the only one that would be staying out for stage points is like Reddick and maybe Bowman.
Yeah.
Maybe. It depends on where Bowman's running. If that 48 team feel like they can win, they might play the certain strategy and not flip the stage, but or they will flip the stage. But I think the RFK cars and obviously anyone else, they're flipping the stages at Watkins Glen. So, but I love seeing that anytime, like what team decides what strategy. I will be interested to see what happens at Watkins Glen. Even SVG too. Like, this is kind of irrelevant, but like, is he going to be chasing like the stage win playoff points, or is he going to put himself in position to get another win, and that's even more playoff points? That'd be very interesting for me to see on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be interesting for sure. There's only 3 races left until the playoffs start. It's Watkins Glen, Richmond, and Daytona. Going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen. I know Watkins Glen hasn't been like the best with this car, but I think last year's race was okay.
I just like road courses this year. They've been the highlight of the season for me.
They've been good.
I'd hate to say this because I don't think it's necessarily true, but I feel like the car races somewhat the best at the road courses right now. That might be unpopular.
That probably is unpopular, but
I don't know. We're not dealing with, again, I mean, remember when I said like after Sonoma, like we haven't been talking about aero issues for like a month. It's just a breath of fresh air, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. But we'll talk more about Watkins Glen after the race next week.
Yeah,
and how good the race will be.
Couple shout outs. Bubba Wallace went from 32nd 2 laps down to finish 6th in the final stage there. That's pretty impressive. Gained a lot of points. He actually moved up like in the playoff grid, so he got a few more. If he stays where he is in the points, he'll get a few more regular season points. So that's pretty good for him. And Austin Dillon finished 10th. He was in the top 10 pretty much the whole race, which I thought was pretty surprising.
RCR. Kyle Busch was fast. Like, I feel like I need to go to the Richmond race to see someone stupid win. Like, I'm having a
see RCR win Richmond again.
God, imagine if it's Dillon versus Busch. That would be so screwed.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. God, the Kyle Busch fans would be so mad if Austin Dillon beats Kyle
Busch versus the 3 car.
Oh no, that'd be so bad. They would be calling for Richard Childress's head. They'd be so mad.
Are you going to Richmond? You haven't decided?
I don't know. I'm going to the truck race with my sister, but the Sunday or the Cup race, I don't know, because it might be a boring race, and honestly, like, I don't know if I want to sit there and watch that for 400 laps.
Because you had texted me the other day that you think you were going to go to like take notes and listen to the radio and stuff. I think that'd be fun for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling something like stupid's going to happen in terms of who wins, so I kind of want to go, but I don't know.
Just say you were there. I mean, both Richmond races last year were controversial, so yeah, I mean, it could be
the spring one, again. So yeah, Richmond's had a weird energy with the Cup cars lately, so I don't know. I feel like I kind of have to go.
But while we're talking about Richmond, by the way, when I noticed the schedule, I didn't realize it was basically back where it used to be like 15 years ago. It's just one race earlier. So it used to be the last race before the chase started.
Well, yeah, but that used to be like after. I see what you're saying. Like it's race 25.
Penultimate race of the regular season.
It's just like calendar wise, it's like still kind of, well, not really, because it's like August.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go into the T. This is from last weekend, because on the podcast after Brickyard 400, we were like, Christopher Bell
is an idiot.
What was that about? It looks like he wrecked Zane Smith. And it turns out we were on here being like, he never really said anything. No one really asked him anything about it. But it turns out Christopher went and apologized to every member on the 38 team last week, including the guy who yelled at Carson Hocevar, apparently.
And this was found out on Corey LaJoy's podcast, Stacking Pennies. Yeah. Not that I was listening to it. God forbid I was not listening to it.
Christopher confirmed that in an interview over the weekend. And he just said that he made a mistake and wanted to apologize to all of them. So...
And that's kind of connects back to the 38 team, because I do get why they're frustrated, because they've gotten wrecked 2 weeks in a row. And good on Christopher Bell owning up to it, because that's hard to do. I mean, looking crew members in the face and you just wreck their car and apologizing.
Yeah.
That's maturity.
Yeah. So. Well, this next T story, I don't think I like it. Mexico City will not be on the 2026 schedule, with Chicagoland likely replacing it, per The Athletic. So what's going on here is that San Diego is going to be on Father's Day weekend, which was the Mexico City date.
Did we even talk about that last week?
What?
San Diego? Like see, I don't think we mentioned it.
These news stories happen like midweek, and then I just like forget.
Well, like there wasn't much to say about it, but
yeah. Because we had been talking about it for a while. There was nothing new. It's on a military base, by the way. Okay, sure.
I have thoughts. Do y'all want to know my thoughts about that? Maybe I can save them for another time.
San Diego's going to be on the Mexico City weekend from this year, and Chicagoland will probably, maybe, be on 4th of July next year, according to this The Athletic article.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
Someone on Twitter, I forgot who it was, they said, I better see all y'all buying tickets for Chicagoland since you wanted it back.
Everyone on Twitter better be there. I mean, the biggest tweet up Jeff Gluck's ever had.
The entirety of NASCAR Twitter is at Chicagoland.
Well, they all better be. They're the loudest. They better be.
They want that track so bad. That race better be good. I'm just saying. Y'all were gassing this track up. I'm just saying. Yeah.
In theory, it should be, because I don't think they've repaved it since it opened in 2001, right? It's
going to be racing on a bunch of weeds and grass if they don't do anything to it. Yeah, like it's going to be a great race. This car race is good on intermediate.
Goodyear needs to bring a pretty good tire that'll wear, because the surface is older. Like if we have a tire that does pretty good, then we could have a really good race out there.
I'm gonna miss Chicago Street.
Me too.
That sucks.
Me too.
Losing that sucks. And
supposedly both sides want to come back to Chicago next year, and San Diego's only a 1-year deal. But I'd rather have Chicago Street Race. I think that could have grown into a crown jewel event.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
San Diego's not going to be the same. And also, like, not having Mexico City either. Just
huge loss for the schedule. So there's reporting out there that IndyCar is going to do Mexico City next year. And the initial reports were that the track wanted NASCAR and IndyCar to share a weekend.
Mitch, do you know who you're trying to get to work together right now? Let's be for real.
These two hate each other. So I'm assuming what's going to happen is, or what did happen is, NASCAR's like, we don't want to share a weekend with them. No.
Not her. Girl, we don't even let her race at our tracks. What do you mean?
So I think it was said in one of the announcements that, or one of the reports, that it's because of the World Cup next year. That's why Mexico City is on the calendar. But then why is IndyCar reportedly going there? IndyCar is like much more of an afterthought.
Well, it almost seems like IndyCar like kind of stole NASCAR's thunder.
Which, like, when does that happen?
Apparently now. This is the only time it's ever going to happen, maybe. But that's what it kind of looks like to me. I think IndyCar kind of swooped in and like almost stole the date. And they probably like, okay, well, NASCAR, you guys can just come share the track with IndyCar. NASCAR's like, we'd actually rather just not come next year, actually.
We'd rather die, actually.
We'd rather die.
Which,
yeah.
I don't think it will, because there's no other slots. We talked about that months ago. Like, there's just not enough slots in the schedule for Mexico City, Chicagoland, Chicago Street. Like, there's just not enough room. But, like, does this open the chats back up with Canada? Because that was a conversation with Montreal for a minute.
But, like, where will that go on the schedule? So,
yeah,
I think we're just not going to have an international date. Which
is a bummer.
And Mexico was such a big deal last year, man. Or this year, but yeah.
Well, we mentioned IndyCar. Fox has purchased 1/3 of Penske Entertainment, who is the owner of IndyCar and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. My first reaction to this was very negative, Because I'm just like, oh, so we're just going to embrace Fox, who has worsened your product and has done marketing, which has done minimal impacts.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think the marketing's probably the strongest thing about Fox. And I think
so there has been a 34, I believe is the number, 34% growth between this year and last year. And that's primarily with the Indianapolis 500 number.
Yeah.
But
I'm just like
the actual broadcast is by far worse than what NBC was doing.
I agree with that.
And I feel like the marketing isn't as strong as it was. And I mean, this is a side tangent. I had the baseball game that was going on at the Bristol track, and it was in a rain delay, and there was an IndyCar ad in there. So, I mean, they are advertising IndyCar outside of just NASCAR, like racing product, like NHRA and everything. So they are still marketing it, but I feel like the numbers aren't as high as I thought they'd be with Fox.
I think those 3 driver ads did a lot for like anyone, like when it got played at the Super Bowl. I think that did a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was like long term doing it, like still like.
But Fox doesn't have the Super Bowl next year, so you're not going to have that next year,
right? Like, are those same fans that saw Joseph's cute little face at the Super Bowl? Are they still watching IndyCar races?
I doubt it.
Yeah, that's the numbers showed probably not. But so here's my thing with Fox, because at first, I've seen someone with the perspective of, if Fox is going to be doing all the promoting anyways, because IndyCar does not promote their series. They didn't promote Iowa at all. If Fox and TV is going to be responsible for all that anyways, it kind of makes sense for them to take ownership of some of the series, don't you think? Like, in a way. But Alex, as NASCAR fans, we've also seen like TV take kind of take a lot of control over NASCAR, or
a very large say in decisions,
like start times. Talks about getting rid of the playoffs, and NBC's like, girl, we want the playoffs.
Which NBC denied that they are saying that, by the way.
Sure, Jan. Right. See, I don't believe that's the thing. I don't like what are the intentions? That's kind of what I'm getting at too. What are the intentions with Fox? Because when I look at it, and I know Fox's production team for races is a separate group of people than the executives that were signing that deal and drinking whiskey with Roger Penske at the Pagoda. But if I had to guess intentions, or not even intentions, I guess, but just what is this going to look like for the IndyCar series and the Speedway? And I watched the broadcast on Fox for NASCAR and IndyCar, and I get the impression that they don't actually even like care about racing. Like they don't, or they just don't understand racing. Maybe they do care, but they're too, like, they just don't understand it, or understand like what fans actually want to see, real racing fans. I'm super worried, because now they have even more control. I mean, am I crazy for saying that IndyCar could get something like playoffs now? Because Fox wants that.
I mean, Alex Palou is more than likely going to clinch the championship this weekend in Portland.
I feel like playoffs, or something else that's like really stupid like that, like a la to like almost the Thermal Club Challenge. Like that was kind of like an NBC idea, right? Like something like that, but even bigger, on a bigger scale, like just like more gimmicks, which I don't know if IndyCar really needs.
No, I really
that's what I'm worried about with Fox, because to me, Fox doesn't really get the spirit of racing, and that's not, again, that's present with not just their IndyCar broadcast, that's present with their NASCAR broadcast too. Like,
so go ahead.
No, I don't really. I'm just repeating myself at this point.
So, like I said, I had bad first impressions of this. I think now that I've learned more about what happened here, they bought 1/3 of an investment into the Penske Entertainment and everything. It sounds like this is kind of happening all around sports. This isn't this is not like a unique thing. Apparently, ESPN is buying a part of the NFL in exchange to get NFL Red Zone, which is huge within the NFL. So ESPN is going to own a small portion of the NFL. And apparently, Fox really helped to elevate the UFC, the wrestling league, and then they left to another network. And this article that I read, sorry, I don't remember who or what publication it's from, but it said that Fox doesn't want to promote a series up and elevate it like they think they're doing with IndyCar.
Oh, without investing
and then not investing into it and then losing it to someone else because they work it up and then it goes away.
That makes sense.
So from that angle, it made sense to me. It's like, oh, okay. Like it's a business
and that's kind
decision.
of what I'm trying to say too, because like I'm not worried, for example, about because every TV network has control over whatever sport they're covering, whether they own the series, own a part of the series or not. They just have, they have a lot of say, they have a lot of leverage. But it doesn't worry me with like NBC and NASCAR, Prime and NASCAR, or really even like NBC and IndyCar. But this Fox thing with IndyCar is just, I feel like this could go so south so quick.
See,
I don't trust them.
That's what I think as well. I think on a surface level, next year or two, we probably won't notice a difference. You'll probably have some think pieces from journalists who are actually bloggers making articles being like, fans overreacted again, and this is why this is a good deal. Like, you're going to have stuff like that come out. I guarantee it. But behind the scenes, and then over, like, let's say 4 or 5 years from now, there's going to be a lot of decisions that are made that are just deteriorating for IndyCar. I'd love to be wrong, but I hate the fact that Fox now owns a portion of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because what are they going to try pushing on the Indianapolis 500? Are they going to try mandating changes for the Brickyard 400? And I saw a lot of people being like, well, that won't happen.
Like, what they tried to move the Brickyard 400 to their NASCAR portion of the schedule. I don't know if they have that leverage.
See, I don't know if they have the kind of leverage, but they're just like little things like that. There's a lot of dominoes that could, in theory, fall. And I'm not trying to like scare people or be like doomsday about it.
Because I don't think anyone truly knows.
These are possibilities.
And I don't think anyone truly knows what's going to happen. And like, if anything changes.
And I think people are justified to assume the worst because it's Fox. Fox has not
they
done
are the
any
worst
favors.
So I am going to assume the worst.
Yeah, like I understand a lot of the sentiment is actually overwhelmingly positive because of the marketing side, but I think that is way too small thinking. You have to think way bigger. Like, they can promote and market it all they want, but if they're making bad decisions, which Fox is very prone to do, it's concerning. Yep. Like, I don't know. I think we won't know the answer to this for another half a decade, if that. But
when they announce IndyCar playoffs, I told you so. I told you so. You're watching this TikTok clip right now in 2026 when they announce the IndyCar. What are they going to call it? They can't call it the playoffs. The IndyCar Championship Challenge. They're going to call it something stupid and corny. It's going to be corny.
By the way, one of our Patreon members, Dirt, made a post on Blue Sky that was saying that IndyCar's biggest marketing problem is its name, the name IndyCar. And I think I agree with that.
Why? Because
when you hear IndyCar, it's like, oh, it's just a racing series in Indianapolis, which, like, yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
I don't really agree.
It doesn't have an appealing name for people to
that's...
understand what it is. I think it's a huge part.
No, because I feel like no.
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's not true. Because I feel like I say IndyCar and people think I'm talking about F1. I don't think it's
people don't know what IndyCar is. So they assume
know
you're
it's
talking
open
about
wheel
F1
racing
or NASCAR.
No, they know it's open wheel racing. I think that's like good enough.
I don't know. But I think if Fox wants to make a change there, they can call it Champ Car.
Girl, you're messy. You're messy. That's the messiest thing you've ever said. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this. If anything, maybe nothing changes. I don't know.
I think, honestly, like I said, just to wrap this up, we won't notice any changes for like 2-3 years. And then if they buy another chunk, then that's when I'd be raising more red flags. Anything else on this, Zack?
Nah, not really.
All right. Formula One was at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Lando Norris won the race. He actually narrowed his gap behind Oscar Piastri in the World Drivers' Championship down to just 9 points.
He pulled off a one-stop strategy. Big deal for him, especially like at Spa. He kind of choked that one away when he was chasing Oscar, but this is a big statement in this championship battle. I read a really good article on Planet F1. I don't think it was by Elizabeth. It might have been. I don't remember. And I was reading it, and the story of this season, like comparing Lando and Oscar. Lando's very polarizing. Oscar's very calm, chill. And Lando kind of taking a step closer to Oscar in this championship battle is exactly what it needed in terms of it being entertaining. So good on Lando pulling out a really good result. So,
yeah. I don't have much to say on this, but apparently they are now in their summer break, which I thought was several weeks ago.
Yeah, because they took like 2 or 3 weeks off.
They took like 3 weeks off, like not that long ago.
They're like, you twinks didn't come back tan enough. Go back. You didn't post enough shirtless thirst traps in Monaco. Go back. God.
The next race for F1 is Zandvoort, which I do like that track. So yeah. I'll be sure to tune in for that. Zach, I guess it's time for fantasy.
So tell me why we pick Hamlin and Larson, and they're battling for the 20s. 24th.
Yeah, what happened here?
What happened? I literally don't know what happened to Larson at the end of that race. I know he was getting like pushed around and he was bitching about it on the radio, but like,
yeah, Larson had like a Blaney-esque meltdown on the radio.
Oh my God. And then he proceeded to finish 28th. Like, what are you doing?
See, at least when Blaney does that, he finishes like third. 5th.
Yeah, like he gets a nice clean top 5. Larson, I feel like he whines and he gets worse. So you just need to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Denny Hamlin, who finished 24th, and you had Kyle Larson, who finished 28th. So I actually gained a point. It is now 22-19. So, Zach, you get the pick first for Watkins Glen.
Shane Van Gisbergen. What? Why would I not pick him? I'm not an idiot. Yeah. He might not win. It's Watkins Glen. He didn't win there last year. He got his ass handed to him by Chris Buescher from Prosper, Texas, but I don't know. Could be anybody.
Yeah.
He could have a brake failure. Carson Hocevar could be near him. Anything could happen. I don't know.
So I haven't known who to pick for this race, but then I looked back at some of the other picks I've made for the road courses. Ty Gibbs finished second, and he didn't have a good finish at Iowa, but he was up there. He was up there again at the Brickyard 400.
Oh, he's got some momentum.
I'm going to go with Ty Gibbs again.
Won that $1 million. Wouldn't that shift the playoff bubble? Oh, yeah, that'd be spicy. Gosh. Wow.
So you got SVG and I have Ty Gibbs. I feel like I just need to have a shot being top 5 in case something goes wrong with SVG.
Right. Fair enough. IndyCar at Portland, and I'll say this is the easiest fantasy ever. Yep. SVG was a layup. Alex Palou for Portland, layup.
Yeah, you are behind me by 1 point, so you'll get the Palou pick. Portland, I normally pick Kirkwood, right? Because, it's near a city, I would say, but like I don't know how close it is to Portland. It's not a street course.
Is a city. If I can't see the buildings from the track, it doesn't count.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Scott Dixon. We're not in the city.
I don't know. I don't know if you can from Portland. I have no idea. You're going to see those buildings during the race broadcast, and you're going to be like, damn it. God. Yeah.
And for Laguna Seca, just for recap, Zach had Palou again there, and I had Kirkwood, who finished 16th. So.
Wait, did I win Laguna Seca?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm on the comeback trail, man.
Yep. You're only 1 point behind me.
Oh, my God.
And IndyCar only has three races left. Portland, Milwaukee, and Nashville.
Yeah, it's the last road course. So, cool. Nothing to say there.
Actually, IndyCar ends this month because all those races are this month.
Thank God. No, I think one's Labor Day weekend. Well, I guess that's like August. It's like August 30th or something.
It might be the last weekend of August.
Labor Day's weird this year. It's like September 1st or something. So
yeah, but we'll talk about that when it happens. Anything else, Zach, before we wrap up this episode?
Honestly, I don't know. Do you like racing?
Sometimes I question that, but then I think about the good times I've had watching racing. I'll be like, yeah.
Last week was great with Bubba Wallace. Great story. And it's just, I don't know.
Like I think about Gateway earlier this year. Like that was a great race in person. I've had a lot of good times at Kansas. It's like I think I just need to go to more races in person.
Well, I also think the best motorsports right now are F1 and IMSA, but they're the both that I don't really watch because we don't talk about them too much on the podcast. Like they're just not the focus.
And I love IMSA, but it's like the cautions take way too long.
Yeah, and they're not
Formula One is on Sunday morning. That is my one day I get to sleep in.
And they don't and they're not setting the barn on fire either with F1 either. Like the racing's not that good, but the storylines are. So that's my thing. Because NASCAR, I think the playoffs are going to be entertaining. I'm not going to say good, but they're going to be entertaining. Yeah. And I think that will bring me back into it. But this summer's just been a struggle, man. And I'm telling you, I think it's because I saw the same fuel mileage race play out 4 times.
Yeah.
I think that's low key what's like kind of killing it for me. I don't know. Not killing it, but yeah. If you haven't already, we were on Shrimp Hours with our good friend Davin drive through. We had a lot of fun. Maybe a little bit too much fun. So go check that out.
Do not watch that if you are under the age of 18.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a little adults only. Adults only.
I think YouTube says like 9% of our audience are like 17 or younger. So, I mean, if you're them,
in that case, ignore what I said. Ignore what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I was listening
to worse stuff when I was 15, to be fair.
Yeah. Thank you to our Patreon members for their support. You can support us at patreon.com/gayracingpod for just $2 a month. You can submit questions and we'll discuss them on the episode. And there's also a $5 month tier for early access to some bonus videos. Zach and I have a bonus video idea that we'll probably do somewhat soon.
Oh, yeah.
So look out for that. Consider giving us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and liking and subscribing on YouTube. And follow the podcast at Gay Racing Pod on Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And follow us on Blue Sky and Twitter at Dreamy Zack Racing and at New Gaten.
And we will see you guys next week to talk about NASCAR at Watkins Glen and IndyCar at Portland. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.